Hey, what's up? It's Jim, and I just got back from the new film from Up on Poppy Hill. This is the latest film from Studio Ghibli. It's directed by Goro Miyazaki, the son of Hayao Miyazaki. Hayao Miyazaki helped write the screenplay, and it's based on a serialized manga that apparently is very popular in Japan. Set in Japan of the early 60s, it's about Umi Matsusuki, a high school girl living in a boarding house. Then Umi meets Sean Kuzama, a member of the school's newspaper club, and they decide to clean up the school's clubhouse, the Latin Quarter. However, the chairman of the local high school and a businessman intends to demolish the clubhouse, and they're trying to get him to reconsider doing that. And at the same time, she's dealing with a romantic kind of entanglement with Sean, and then she finds out they could possibly be related. Those two stories don't really have very much to do with each other. And this is probably one of the worst stories I've seen from Studio Ghibli. I'm a fan of Studio Ghibli. I'll see pretty much everything they do. I haven't seen everything they've made, but anything current coming out I'll pretty much see and review because I love that studio. I think it's a great studio. It's probably the best animation studio in the world. The problem with the script is its tendency to do melodrama, but as the film went on, the melodrama got more and more on my nerves. It was just stupid teenage TV show drama. It wasn't interesting melodrama. This is a different kind of film for Studio Ghibli because most of their films are fantasy, you know, if you think of Spirited Away or My Neighbor Totoro. And this film, there's not really any forest spirits. It's a lot more low-key, and that's really not what bothered me. I mean, I thought all the shots were incredibly well composed, as always. I thought the animation was amazing. I loved the character design. It was just the story was really bad, and I didn't think it was worthy of a studio as great as Studio Ghibli. From Up on Poppy Hill is just like with her and this guy she likes, and like, is he her brother, isn't he? As soon as that plot line came up, I got really out of the film. The whole thing with the clubhouse I kind of liked, but I wasn't that into. It was so melodramatic and conventional. The whole like, are you related to me or not and we're going out thing is half dull and stupid and half totally gross. It didn't seem to capture the melodrama of being a teen. It's probably one of the weakest Studio Ghibli films I've ever seen. We got to know certainly like Umi, and I like some of the supporting characters like the philosopher club guy in the clubhouse, and the whole clubhouse thing I guess was a little interesting, but even that is like, I didn't really get how they connected, and how they connected, like the plot of this had way more in common with an episode of Gossip Girl than I felt comfortable with. And that's really the problem with From Up on Poppy Hill. It's just not a very engaging story because it's just so like soap opera-y and melodramatic. Like most teen dramas, has a hint of dull in there. I hate stories like this. They just kind of meander on, and then you have the characters running because they're really interested in this past drama of theirs that's like a total secret. Their parents had their reasons. I'm a Studio Ghibli fan. I'm a Miyazaki fan. I think he worked a lot better with the guy who directed Secret World of Arrietty, and I thought that was probably the best animated film I saw last year, or at least in America, you know, because of the various different release dates. If you're a big fan of Studio Ghibli, I think there's no way you're not going to see this, but I found this film very underwhelming, especially with the story. And it's not that I had high expectations, and it's not that I couldn't live with the film not having a fantastic story, because I love My Neighbor the Yamadas. That's a great film. But this film is just like, the story was so dull and terrible, and I did not like the script at all. I did not like the story. That just really hindered it. Goro, I don't think, had as much control over the audiences as you really expect from a Studio Ghibli film. And I love in Studio Ghibli when you have those silences and the audience is just silent. And you couldn't get that from Up on Poppy Hill. And I think that's because this story was so weak, predictable, dull, and melodramatic. They're a studio that's known for their storytelling, and the storytelling in this film was noticeably weak. So if you have seen From Up on Poppy Hill and you would like to talk about it, then comment below in the comments, and subscribe if you would like to.